Welcome, YouTubers! Hi! Raven here!
Starfire.
Tonight we're talking about, what did we just watch?
Supergirl?
Okay, Supergirl.
What the heck?
I don't know, my brain
Supergirl Season 3, Episode 3. It's called Far From the Tree.
My brain just went blank as soon as you hit record. I'm like, oh, welcome. I'm like, that's not right. I say hi.
Typical Monday.
Yeah, especially when you wake up after 3.
I was up at like 8 something.
I was up after 3 p.m.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
That's like wasting half the day away.
I wasn't able to sleep till like after 3 a.m. and then I got a phone call at like 6 a.m. waking me up, so I had to go.
From who?
Someone from church.
At 6 in the freaking morning.
Yes, they wanted to see if I could help with the Halloween event.
At 6 in the morning, they called you.
Yeah.
Couldn't they have just texted you?
Apparently not.
Or emailed you?
Apparently not.
Or called you later in the day?
Apparently not.
What the heck? I would have
don't
not
know.
answered it.
It woke me up.
Well,
So then, because of that, I had to wait till I was able to fall back asleep, and then just day's gone.
you actually fell back to sleep? Because usually once I'm awake, I don't fall back to sleep.
Half the time I can fall back to sleep.
Sometimes I can.
Like maybe 67%.
If I'm still really tired, I can. But if I'm not, then no.
Mhm.
Even if it is early, I can't.
Yeah. So, what did you like about the episode?
I don't know. I felt like it was a lot about family because, you know, it was Maggie's dad and it was John's dad and,
Yeah.
you know, like, he didn't believe he was his son at first and
Yeah.
Maggie's dad was the way he was and...
I don't think it was just about, like, the father figure.
Yeah.
I think it was about finding your place in the family you have.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that.
Like, discovering who your family is, whether or not it's the family you've chosen or the
Right.
family that you were born into.
Right. And...
Because there's 2 different types of family.
Mm-hmm.
The ones you choose and the ones you don't.
And the ones that are your blood family.
Yeah.
But most of the time, you don't think of them as your family because of how they treat you. So,
Yeah. My phone loves to go off during these reviews, doesn't it?
Why don't you put it on vibrate?
Because... Okay.
Mine's on that.
Yeah. So what else?
Just you know, just like the you know, finding your place and you know, choosing your family and just all that kind of stuff. I liked Jean, you know, showing him the memory and you know, and then his dad realizing that he was like John was his son.
That was such a cute memory.
Yeah, and it was so sweet when he realized it and everything, and you know, and just I don't know. I felt like it was a good episode because you know, it got down deep. Like it dealt with you know really personal stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, I can understand where Maggie's dad is coming from.
Mhm.
But at the same time, he should not have abandoned her when she was a child.
No.
Because that stays with you for your whole life.
Yeah.
And, you know, she always wanted him to just accept her and love her for who she was. And he never did that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it sucks that she can't really rely on her own family.
Yeah.
But Alex is her family now.
Yeah.
And
that's a wonderful family.
That's what matters.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if the kids thing is going to drive them apart or not. Because Alex really, really, really wants them. And Maggie doesn't. And Alex is saying that she's okay with it, but she's really not.
It's like on The Flash. Like,
So.
when they say it's okay, it's not okay.
Most of the time, people use that as a default, like a facade, a default thing for, I'm good, I'm fine, when they're really not fine.
Yeah.
Because they just don't want to talk about it or deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just all ends up coming out in one big thing.
Yeah.
So.
One of their fights down the road, Alex will throw it out. Like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. I just hope that doesn't keep them from getting married. Because, because the actress that plays Maggie is only on a limited number of episodes.
For this season.
So, if we don't see that this season, who knows what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, oh my gosh! Turn it on freaking vibrate!
I joined a new Discord today, and I think that's what's going on. I forgot to turn the notifications off.
But anyway, yeah, so, I just hope that they're able to work through that and deal with that, because,
I mean,
I know how big of a fan you are of them. I like them, but I think you like them a lot more than I do.
Probably. But, for the whole thing, it's just, for that whole thing, it's just well, Maggie doesn't want kids because it's I've pictured, us leading a full life,
And she's like, and you're all I need.
Yeah, but I think that, if they did get a kid, Maggie would be a great mom.
Yeah, I think so,
I think that Maggie just... she says that it's not because of how she was raised.
But there's got to be some underlying thing.
Because, yeah. And I think that because of what went on, she doesn't see how it could just amplify their love for each other.
Yeah.
Because having kids can amplify your love for one another.
Yeah.
If you're the right people. If that's the person you're actually meant to be with, then... What the hell? I left the server! I legit
Either
left.
turn it off or turn it on silent or something. Because if that's going to happen through the whole review, it's going to get really annoying.
Boo got on.
We'll talk to her after the review.
I know! Damn, no, I'm gonna sit here on my phone and text her.
Well, I don't know.
But, if they're, supposed to be together, if, that really works, then having kids, it doesn't take away from your love for each other. It can add to it. And I think it would add to them, and she doesn't see that because all she's seen is the negative side of things.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, too, if she's, if either Alex or she realizes somehow, through something else, an experience that happens or something, she can realize that she doesn't have to be the same way that her parents were to her.
Yeah.
She's not going to abandon that child.
Exactly.
She's not going to make the same mistakes that they did. She can make it better, and she can, make sure that it has the life that it deserves to have.
Yeah.
Whether it's adopted, whether, they have it another way, but, it can be a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Maggie just needs to realize that.
Yeah. I think maybe when they get a little older, when they have a little bit, a couple years under their belt as a couple, then...
I know, but I think for Alex, she needs to know before she goes into, marrying her, that Maggie is okay with having kids. Because Alex wants kids.
Yeah.
So before she marries her, she wants that to be resolved.
Mm-hmm. I know that, and, it will get resolved one way or the other, but...
Whether it drives them apart or not.
Yeah, but, you see, the show's kind of driven themselves into a rut. Like, I understand that, like, not all gay couples work out. I mean, that's obvious. Because not all straight couples work out. It's the same dynamics, yes. But, like, what the show did is they gave us this amazing gay couple.
Yeah.
Like, they're, like, the best ones in the CW right now, in my opinion.
Well, are there really that many others
I don't
in
know.
the CW?
I don't know.
Are.
I only watched these shows.
I mean, The Flash doesn't have one.
No.
Arrow doesn't have one. Legends
Well,
doesn't have one.
Arrow did have one,
Well,
but they got divorced.
well, Flash and Legends don't.
And they didn't really show us much of their relationship because it only dealt with the guy that was becoming the hero.
And I don't know about the other CW shows that I don't watch, so Supernatural doesn't either. So
Yeah. And then in Legends of Tomorrow, you have a bi girl who's been sleeping with a lot of women lately.
yeah, but she also likes guys too.
Yep. So there's no real relationship that she has. But
And Supernatural only has it if you pair them, like Dean and Cass.
no.
I agree, but a lot of people like them, so.
No. But I think that they've built such an amazing real relationship with these two that if they broke it up, they might lose some of their, like, maybe a lot.
I don't
fans,
think they're gonna necessarily break it up. I just think that that's gonna be something that's gonna, like, make it really hard for them for a bit. I think it's gonna be something that could potentially break them up, but I think that the writers are smart enough, hopefully, to know that if they do that, it will cause a lot of problems. So,
yes.
yeah.
But I do think that,
But you never know with Supergirl, because they, like, already ruined some other things that I liked, so.
Yeah, but none of it was built up so much.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like,
Well, Kara and James kind of were built up.
our anticipation for them was built up, but their relationship together as a couple wasn't. And that's what we've experienced with Maggie and Alex.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the difference here. I know that it's common in other shows that, like, you have this amazing couple and then they break up and whatever, but
they usually get back together.
I can see them maybe getting back together if they broke up, but I can't see them staying apart forever.
I mean, look at Brittany and Santana.
Yes.
Like...
But, I mean, Brittany slept all over the place, and so did Santana.
Yeah. But then they ended up getting married.
They did. And they were the only believable marriage in that show. Because Kurt and Blaine were stupid.
Well, Kurt and Blaine were... I don't even get me started. Seriously.
No.
Do not get me started.
Me either, okay? I share your pain. But...
I have a lot of opinions about that.
Yes.
That I would not like to talk about right now.
Me too. Me too.
Because it will take over this review, and I don't want to do that.
But, like, I think it is important to get the whole kid thing out of the way.
Yes,
like, discuss
definitely.
it. But I don't...
Because, I mean, you know, when you're planning on being with somebody forever, you talk about those things.
Yeah.
You make sure that you're on the same page about those things. And if you're not, then you either try to work it out or you don't stay together.
Yeah.
So,
and you see, Alex wants to talk about it. Like, I think that she'd be okay without, like, okay, she desperately wants kids, yes.
Yeah.
But I think she'd be okay without them if she was able to talk to Maggie about it.
Yeah, I think if they taught, like, actually had a talk about it, instead of Maggie just being, like, you know, saying what she's saying and Alex just agreeing because she doesn't want to start anything. Like, I think if they actually just had, like, a sit-down conversation and just, like, talked about it and were open about everything, like, it would help figure out how they feel about it, you know, and Alex is always going to want them.
Yeah.
Because she wants to be a mom.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's hard for her because she loves Maggie, like, more than anything. But, you know, things like that can come between relationships.
Yeah.
So, like, you have to make sure that you agree on something, or you are at least on the same page about it, so that you know how to move forward.
Yeah. I mean, she might have to just be happy being an aunt. Like...
Well, I'm never going to be a true aunt because I don't got no siblings.
No, but hell, I am having kids, and, I mean, I'm still planning on having you in my life by then. So.
I know, I'm just saying.
So you can spoil my kids if you don't ever have any.
No, I'm just saying, like, the only way that I'll be an aunt is if I have friends who let me call who let their kids call me aunt.
Okay, I get what you're saying now. Okay.
Or I'm like a godmother or something, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's like I think it is something they can get over as a couple, that they can move past.
But I think that they need to talk about it.
A conversation, not just like you're all I need.
Because it keeps just getting like pushed aside, and Alex is you know getting more and more like worried about it and uncomfortable because the wedding is approaching.
Yeah.
And she wants to make sure that like she knows how Maggie feels about it. And so they need to talk about it.
Yeah. And all Maggie wants to say is, all I need is you. Isn't that how you feel?
And it's like, no, that's not how I feel. I want to be a mom. I want kids. Like, you know, are you okay with that? Like, you need to talk about it. If you're in a relationship and, you know, they've been so open with each other all the way up to this point. For the most part. I mean, not about everything, but about certain things.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, like, if they're... It just bothers me, because it's like...
They've been open about their future, not about their past.
And it's like they need to be open about everything if they're going to get married.
Yeah.
Because you can't have any secrets between each other if you're going to be together like that. You have to be open about everything.
Blatantly so. Just like Maggie was with Alex in the first part of the episode.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I mean, like, her dad made a good point. Like, you know, I mean, he had to endure all this, like, you know, prejudice and racism. And, you know, he didn't want that for her. Like, he didn't want her to have to deal with, like, the hatred and all that stuff. But at the same time, he still hasn't accepted her for who she is.
Right. Like, he's part of the problem.
Yeah, he's part of the problem. I mean, if he didn't like having to deal with that all of his life, and he didn't want the same for his children, then maybe he should be accepting of the fact that that's who she is. And she, you know, she's willing to deal with that hatred if she has to. She's willing to, you know, she's going to fight. She's going to make sure that, you know, people just, you know, are heard and are loved for who they are and are allowed to be with who they want to be with.
Yeah. Like,
regardless
he went to the
of
party.
their sexuality.
He saw how many people supported her and loved her.
So.
And I don't understand how, like...
I mean, I know that, like, you know, our families and our parents come from different times, and, you know, to them, that's, like, horrible, and it's terrible and everything. And, you know, it's debatable, there's controversial, like, there's, you know, there's a lot of things like that. But we are from a time where those types of things are changing, and all those people are starting to come out and, you know, be comfortable and embrace who they are. And, you know, I think that, yeah, they might be stuck in their ways and be older and stuff, but I think if they truly, like, love their kid, like, they need to just be like, I love you regardless. Like, I love you for who you are, and I might not like it, and I might not understand it, but I still love you.
Yeah.
And I will try to support you and deal with it however I can deal with it. You know.
Yeah.
Because so many people that are gay and everything are scared to, like, talk about it with their parents. They don't tell them because they know that they're probably going to be disowned or they're going to be, like, shunned because of who they are. And, you know, that's why so many of them had been closeted for so long, because they didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
For fear of that happening.
Yeah. Like, it's just...
I mean, for her to be abandoned at a young age like that's just, like, that's traumatizing.
It is.
I mean, you know, that's going to affect the way that you live your life for the rest of your life. I mean, even if you're in a good place in your life and you're happy and you have people that support you and you're good with yourself and you know how you feel and you love yourself and all that stuff, it's still going to be something that's going to, like, always be there.
Yeah.
In the back of your mind. Like, you know, something might trigger it or something will make you remember, but, like, it's always going to be there. And I think, you know, even though Maggie said, you're all I need, you're my family and stuff, I think that that's still, like, that will always be something that's going to be hard for her to deal with.
Yeah.
And that, you know, even though she said that it wasn't the kid thing, like, I think it has to do with that.
Yeah.
And I think she just needs to realize that it's okay and she can be better than her father. And she can, you know, not make those mistakes and she can, you know, give it a better life.
Right.
And love it, you know, if that child ends up being gay or something, like, she'll love it and accept it just as they are.
Yeah. I mean, gay or straight, like, love the kid. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, you had the kid. It's not, I mean, the gay couples don't always have kids they adopt, but
yeah. Or they do, like, a surrogate or something.
Yeah, like, you chose that kid, or you had that kid.
Right.
You love that kid, or those kids. So, if you love them, why turn your back on them? Like,
exactly.
That's not love. That's I had the word and then it disappeared.
But I mean, I feel like that's how it is a lot with families. I mean, like, because we have to find our place because we're not always supported by our parents and we're not always treated the way that we think we should be treated by them. And, like, we have to you know, earn that acceptance from somebody else or from friends or from other people. And so it can be really difficult because, like, the people that you want most behind you and supporting you are not doing that.
Yeah.
And they raised you and brought you up to be this person who's just a good person, and they just don't even care.
Yeah, like, they're the people that you ran to when you had a nightmare. Like,
so
they're the people that they're the first people that you felt safe with, wrapped in their arms until you found that special someone. Like, you want them in your corner, and when that doesn't happen, that can be emotionally scarring.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that could prohibit your thoughts of having kids because, like, a lot of people think that they're going to be just like their parents when they're parents.
It's true.
And, like, that's not always the case.
It's like you see what your parents do and you decide you don't want to do those things. You want to be better. You're going to make mistakes, but you're going to make different mistakes than they made because you know that what they did isn't beneficial to you or to your child, so you're not going to do that.
Yeah. She just has to go through her own mental state and discover what it really is keeping her from kids. If it's what she wants, that she really legitimately just doesn't want kids.
Yeah.
If, without Maggie in her life, if she was meant to be the old lady down the road with cats, then that was what she was meant to be. You know?
Yeah.
She was meant to be childless, okay. But she needs to figure that part out on her own.
But yeah, that's why they need to talk about it.
Yes.
Because if Maggie just straight up doesn't want kids and there's no, like, it doesn't have anything to do with her, what she went through in her childhood, like, they need to figure out how they're going to deal with that moving forward.
Yeah.
Like, if Alex is going to be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
And everything.
Yeah. I really don't want this to happen, but I think this is what's going to happen. I think we're going to get to the wedding.
And Alex isn't going to be ready.
She's won't be ready.
She's going to leave her at the altar.
They're going to be all ready, dressed in their outfits, about to walk down the aisle, and Maggie...
Because they haven't had one single freaking discussion about kids.
And Alex just won't, because she sees a future with this added bundle of happiness in their life, and she can't imagine a future with them without this extra happiness.
Right.
And she needs that closure from Maggie about it, and she's not gonna get it.
Yeah, but they didn't talk about it, so that's why.
Yeah. Like, I think that's what's gonna happen, and then Maggie's gonna feel like, I mean, Maggie, wasn't she engaged to that one chick from last season? And then something happened. Maggie's gonna feel like...
But I wish they wouldn't do it that way. I wish that they would actually have them just, like, talk about it and not have these secrets between each other.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, if Maggie loves Alex as much as she says she does, then she should be able to tell her those things about her past. And she should be able to be like, look, I don't want kids, like, these are the reasons why.
I don't think she really knows why.
Yeah, but I mean, they still need to have a discussion about it. They both need to, like, give their opinion.
Yeah.
Because if Alex wants kids, but she's not expressing that to Maggie, and Maggie's just saying, I don't want kids, you're enough for me, like, that's not going to get them anywhere.
Yeah.
So, you know, they need to do that.
They do.
But, anyway, on another note...
We spent 30 minutes talking about Alex and Maggie.
And ranting about other things, life and all that stuff.
Yes.
But I liked that Kara went with Jean and helped, you know, with, like, him finding his dad and, you know, the whole staff that they were looking for, and, you know, used it to fight them off. And seriously, let me tell you, his freaking ship is amazing, because it's like a vintage car, and then it, like, morphs into a ship. It's so awesome.
I loved it when she came rolling up in that car,
and it was playing Britney Spears.
I wanted to sing along, but I wanted to hear what was going on.
One more time.
Yes.
Yeah, throwback.
Yeah, as soon as I heard that song, I just pictured Santana and Britney in their high stupor state at the dentist's office.
But Rachel was the one who sang that.
I know, but...
And wore the outfit and everything.
I know. But Britney just looks so much like her.
She does. She's like, I'm Britney S. Spears. I'm Britney Spears.
Right.
For those of you that have watched Glee, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yes. But, like, that scene, I was just like, oh my gosh. It was a girl from Glee playing that song in an old car.
And she wasn't even on the episode at that.
Well, I know that much, like, seriously.
Like, she didn't even come till 2 seasons later.
Yeah. So. But, I mean, still, like, that, like, that's what triggered the memory.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those classic throwback songs that, like, we know because we grew up with it.
Yes.
So, but I mean, it was so cool because it's one of those vintage cars, and I love that stuff. So, I mean, to see that and then have it, like, morph into the spaceship that it was just, it was cool.
It was.
So,
she's like, I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque, and can you tell me how to get to Earth?
That was pretty clever, actually. That was pretty awesome.
I'm like, is there a planet called Albuquerque? Because they ain't gonna know what the hell he's talking about. Like, what?
But yeah, like, just, I don't know. her being there, and I think, kind of them all end up working together once they, the staff, and it not being something that was like two-sided, and I don't know, it ended up being good and working out, so.
And then Jean got to bring the staff home because the White Martians finally, like, they just decided we need to be better than our enemies. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, you do.
That's good.
You were being a massive dickhole earlier. I mean, he was. Let's just rape his mind and kill him. Like. Like, I saw that go down in Young Justice, okay? Magan totally just wrecked Aqualad's brain. Come on now.
How do you rape somebody's brain?
Like, totally just ravaged their brain. Like, you take a figure of speech.
Okay.
For, like, people who can enter minds.
I see.
I could say totally just ravish the brain.
Oh yeah, they totally ravished each other.
Oh,
and got into each other's minds. And just totally not gonna say the word, each other. Yeah, sure.
Okay. See, I'm tired enough that it took me a minute to realize the actual word you're going for.
I mean, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, but that involves him saying yes, not no.
That's consensual. Mind rape is not.
Nope. Okay.
And I'm sorry, we should not be laughing about rape. Rape is terrible and horrible.
It is.
And
it's not a laughing matter.
It's not a laughing matter at all.
But yeah, Aqualad was so messed up. Like, he couldn't form sentences.
Uh-huh.
He just stood there drooling because he was, like, he had no function anymore. That's what what that one White Martian guy was willing to do to Jean's dad.
Wow.
And it had a possibility of killing him.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it had a possibility of killing him in Young Justice too, but at the moment, Magan thought that Aqualad was evil. So, whatever. But, I mean...
Still doesn't give her the right to mind rape him.
She thought she'd seen him kill her best friend.
Oh. Okay.
When it was just a trick to fool everyone.
Nice.
So that they could pretend kill her so that she could go undercover as a different person in this bad guy organization. You know. It makes sense when you watch it.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense right now.
So, yeah.
But anyway, I just liked that it kind of all, came together and was, like, about finding your place and family. And, like, I thought it was interesting that the title of the episode was called Far From the Tree, because it's, like, that expression, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
But
and, like,
Maggie fell far from that tree.
Yeah, so it's about, like, differences and, expressing those differences and, realizing who you are and your place in the world and, what matters and what doesn't and things like that.
What people you're going to let be your family and what people you have to kick out.
Right. Like Audrey Hepburn said, true friends are families that you can select.
That's sweet. So yeah, that's basically...
That's basically all we got.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all that happened in the episode.
Yeah, just...
It was about Jean and his father and going to Mars and dealing with that stuff. And then
Sanders.
Maggie and Alex.
Yeah.
And I liked that Alex's mom was so into, like, the shower and, throwing that for them. And like, you missed this part, but, like, when Maggie was telling, what's her mom's name? Alex's mom? I don't remember her name. Anyway.
She's not on enough for me to remember.
Anyway, Alex's mom, you know, they were sitting, like, Maggie and Alex and her mom were sitting at the table, and I think Alex's mom had brought up, you know, how long it had been since Maggie had, like, talked to her parents and, like, why she hadn't invited them to the wedding or something like that. And so, you know, she told her, and she expressed this story from her past about, you know, what her dad did. And Alex didn't know about it because she hadn't told her before. And so, I just thought that Alex's mom was just like, you know, she just said some really nice stuff. She was like, you know, she embraced her for who she was. She wasn't bothered by it. Like, she was okay with it. And, you know, that's the kind of parent you want. Somebody who's accepting and loves you anyway.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. But that was a good scene, too. So.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's basically what we have, right?
Pretty much all we got, yeah. Because I think if we continue, we're just going to be ranting about a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So we should stop.
Are there any announcements that we have?
I mean, here's the thing. My Wednesdays are, like, not always, but this Wednesday in particular is busy for me. So I don't know how the review's going to work for The Flash tomorrow. Either, like, you can do it yourself or I can do it myself or something, because I think it would be... I don't want us to wait, like, 2 days to get it up, is what I'm saying. So I think it would be better if, like, one of us did it. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to do it on Wednesday. Because I'm going to be gone for practically, like, the whole day. I'm not going to get home till, like, the night.
Yeah.
So, and by that time, it's probably going to be too late to do it.
Yeah. So we'll just, like, figure that out, like, after.
Yeah.
So it's either going to be up Tuesday night or sometime Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I promise, like, whatever happens, I'll get the crap up this Wednesday.
For Legends?
Because I still haven't done last week's review.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's a new episode tomorrow.
I know.
So, but anyway... Yeah, so, like, we're trying to do this every other Tuesday thing because she usually works on Tuesdays. So we're trying to do it so, like, I'll do it by myself, like, 1 week, and then, like, we'll do it together the next week. So usually if we do it together, it's going to be the next day because, you know, she works.
Yeah.
So in the case of this week, since my Wednesday is, like, really busy, I won't be able to probably do that.
Yeah. So we'll just figure it out, and if it's not up late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, then it'll be at sometime Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Is there anything else we have?
I don't think so.
Oh, don't look for Once Upon a Time this week because we're not doing that review. We'll be doing it the week after.
Yeah. We will watch the episode and we'll do a small recap of it, but...
Not this week, though. Like,
yeah, next week's. In next week's review, we will do a recap of this week's episode.
Yes.
And the full review for next week's.
Yes.
So. But you guys are probably happy that we're doing Once Upon a Time again because we got a lot of views on our first one.
Yeah, we got a couple on the second.
So, yeah.
I think we probably would have gotten more if we would have done it that night.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I mean, we do it because we enjoy talking to you guys. And
season 7's different, so it's a little bit easier to watch now.
Yeah. It's a little bit more fun to speculate about.
Yeah.
And to get to know all these new people.
Right.
So yeah.
That's pretty much our announcements, and, you know, hope you enjoyed it. Give us your thoughts about tonight's Supergirl episode.
Yeah.
And yeah. Comment, like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. And until next time, love yourself and be happy.